Real confidence also comes from presence. When you listen carefully, respond to what is actually being asked, and allow yourself to pause before answering. Your responses become more natural and grounded. You're no longer performing, you're communicating. In higher pressure interviews, the goal isn't to sound perfect, it's to sound clear, real, and connected to your actual experience. When preparation gives you structure, but not a script, authenticity gives you the strongest advantage. Hi, I'm Tina, and I'm from Express Employment Professionals. And today we're talking about interview confidence without the script. How to prepare without sounding rehearsed. When preparation shifts from understanding to memorization, instead of owning their experience, they try to deliver perfect answers, which can make responses feel scripted and less natural. Strong candidates don't recite answers. They know their stories well and adapt them to the questions and conversations in the moment. The key difference is whether the interview feels like a dialogue or a performance. When candidates stay present, speak naturally, and connect their experience to what's being asked, their confidence and authenticity come through far more strongly. Being prepared means you understand your experience well enough to explain it clearly, adapt it to different questions, and support it with relevant examples in a natural way. Being scripted means relying on memorized wording and trying to repeat answers exactly as rehearsed, regardless of how the conversation unfolds. In short, prepared candidates sound confident and conversational, while scripted candidates often sound rigid, disconnected from the flow of the interview. You might be wondering how you can prepare for interviews without memorizing answers by focusing on understanding your experience and not scripting it. The goal is to be able to talk naturally about key situations, using real examples that show your skills like problem solving, teamwork, leadership, and resilience without fixing the exact wording in advance. A strong approach is to prepare stories, not speeches. Know the situation, what you did, and what changed because of that. Then explaining it conversationally and adapting it to the question asked. When candidates focus on clarity of experience rather than perfect wording, they come across more confident, authentic, and engaging. Real examples make interview answers sound natural, confident, and believable. When candidates speak from their actual experience, they're not trying to construct the right answer. They are simply recalling something they've already lived through, which makes their delivery more grounded and authentic. This naturally builds confidence because the focus shifts from wording to truth. The more real and relevant the example, the easier it is to explain clearly, adapt to the question, and come across as genuine rather than rehearsed. When candidates prioritize memorized perfect answers instead of genuine conversation, this usually shows up in rehearsed wording, overly formal or generic language, and responses that don't fully match the question being asked. Other common issues include overusing buzzwords without real examples, speaking in a flat or overly controlled tone, and avoiding personal experiences that would make answers more grounded. At the core, robotic answers come from trying to perform well rather than communicate honestly. The more candidates focus on clarity and real experience instead of perfection, the more natural and engaging they sound. Staying calm in a high-pressure interview is less about eliminating nerves and more about staying present so that they don't control your communication. Preparation helps. Knowing the company, the role, and having a few thoughtful questions ready gives you grounding and direction. In the moment, simple techniques like slowing your breathing, pausing before answering, and actively listening help keep your focus on the conversation rather than the pressure. The key is to shift attention away from getting it perfect and towards having a real conversation based on your actual experience. One simple way to improve confidence before an interview is to do a quick evidence reset before you walk in. Take a moment to mentally review a few real examples of your own work. Situations where you solved a problem, achieved results, or handled pressure well. So your focus shifts from nerves to proof. This works because confidence isn't built in the interview itself, it's anchored in the preparation. When you remind yourself of what you've already done, you stop walking in hoping you're good enough and start walking in knowing you have real experience to draw from. Real confidence also comes from presence. When you listen carefully, respond to what is actually being asked, and allow yourself to pause before answering. Your responses become more natural and grounded. You're no longer performing, you're communicating. In higher pressure interviews, the goal isn't to sound perfect, it's to sound clear, real, and connected to your actual experience. When preparation gives you structure, but not a script, authenticity gives you the strongest advantage. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. There's a blog with more information linked in the description below.